Have you ever played versus Rob and been 0 to death by gyro combos? Do you want to learn how to do it back to Rob? I had a couple of requests to cover this from some Mewtwo players, and with Chunky Kong labbing gyro stuff to hell and back, why not show off some of what Mewtwo can do as well? Watch till the end to find out how you can do combos like these. But before we get into learning any combos, there are a few important building blocks that you need to know how to do first. These will be important to know for maximizing the punishes on Rob. These are Z-drop into falling aerial, Z-catching, and double tossing. We will briefly go over how to do each in their own part. This one's fairly simple and may be easier depending on if you played a character who uses items in their moveset. To do this, simply be in the air, press grab to drop the item, and fast fall aerial to recatch and hit at the same time. To do this out of shield easily, just press jump and attack at the same time without holding a direction. Now the reason why knowing this is important is because this will be how you carry Rob to the edges of the stage provided you have space, and will be where most of your damage comes from during gyro combos. Gyro will always be in front of Mewtwo when Z drops, and Z drop out of shield starts hitting as early as frame 4, meaning you have a very fast option to use out of shield versus Rob. Z drop into fastball fair works pretty much forever, so even if you don't have the combos down, this simple sequence serves as a solid and not overly complicated foundation to fall back on. Like with Rob Gyro Nairs, most of these combos stop working if their percent becomes too high, so these should only really be attempted at 0 to mid percents. Z-catching is not complicated at all. Use your grab button to pick up an item while in the air. You do have to be somewhat on top of the item, otherwise you will air dodge or miss grabbing the item. This is important to know because it plays a pivotal role in performing double tossing. Speaking of which, double tossing is the tech that you see from Robs once their combos bring you off stage, getting a little bit of extra damage in before going for a finisher. This one's the trickiest of the three to get down, but becomes easier with muscle memory. The method I personally use to do it is, while in the air, do a regular toss with A plus directional input, Z catch, and then smash toss via the A plus directional input method previously mentioned. In order to smash toss, throw the item as though you're inputting a smash attack on the ground. This sends Rob at a better angle for follow-ups and deals more damage to him compared to regular tossing. You can tell if you got a smash toss in training if the damage dealt to Rob is roughly 9% instead of 7.7%. It's more ideal to use this on the second toss when double tossing to get some extra damage in before going in for a fair offstage. There are a few things to keep in mind when attempting double toss combos on Rob. Mewtwo has to remain at least somewhat close to Rob to be able to Z-catch the gyro. This means you must commit to drifting towards Rob when attempting the double toss combos. Do not immediately try to toss again, as there is a lockout window upon grabbing the item again. It's only 20 frames, so you have time between re-catching and throwing before they're able to air dodge. Try to get this down to the point where you can complete the required inputs as fast as possible while being wary of the lockout window. Now that you know these three techs, and practiced them hopefully, you are now ready to start using each of them in your punishes versus Rob. As a pre-warning as well, make sure you actually have enough space to complete any combos you actually go for. Some of these may require at least half an FD to do. As an example, here's a very simple one to do using all three of the things you've learned in this video. At center stage, Z-drop and fast fall up air to recatch, short hop double toss into rising fair. Once you have this basic combo down, you can start experimenting with certain options to sort of come up with your own combos. Some of these can even be 0 to deaths. For example, instead of doing the double toss on stage, what if instead I did an aerial toss into fair recatch and did a double toss off that? That can confirm into fair, which will kill off stage. Or, what if I were to start the combo with fair and make it the only move used outside of inputs relating to the gyro? Generally speaking, after Z dropping gyro there are 3 aerials that you should consider going for follow-ups. Each play a slightly different role to each other and are better used at different spots on the stage. Falling forward air is better used at center stage to move Rob closer to the ledge. This deals more damage, being a sweet spot between up air and sweet spot down air's damage, and can be changed into itself on all DIs, but becomes very tight on DI out. Falling up air is better for setting up into double tossing near the ledge. Deals the least damage out of the 3, but it can be chained into itself as sweet spotted. Falling down air is better used for the beginning of double toss combos around center stage. Does more damage than forward air if sweet spotted, and this one you can technically screw up if you're too fast with fast falling down air or miss the fast fall in general. Can technically use it in a similar way to up air, but the window to confirm into double toss is way tighter. If you notice, however, I made no mention of Z-drop nair or Z-drop back air in this guide. The Z-drop nair, it is very unreliable for combos. Even if you do hit the nair, it will only be the later part, and sometimes Rob will end up behind you if you screw up. Otherwise, it's a worse falling down air, very tricky to confirm off of. Z-drop back air, to be serious though, it is practically useless since you are not actually hitting the gyro before hitting the back air, since of course gyro will be dropped in front of you via Z-drop. But once you know where is best to use certain falling aerials and how to chain them together, as well as mastering double tossing, you can become quite freeform with your combos. Here are a few examples of such combos. Apologies if those combo demonstrations looked a bit corny in that montage style. I was using Dropaholic at this point, so I thought it was kind of fitting. Just want to give a quick shout out to Lucretio, at @TopPlayerLucretio on Twitter, for giving me permission to show some of his double toss guide in this video. Thank you so much, Lucretio, for that. And if you made it all the way to the end here, thank you so much for watching. I hope this guide helped. Hopefully the past 2 weeks I've spent grinding, double tossing versus Rob will actually pan out to be helpful, and helpful for you Mewtwo players watching this as well. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing and dropping a like, and thank you again for watching.